What if I told you that one strip of land, hugging one mighty river, shaped the entire world? Not just for a century or a millennium, but for over 5,000 years. Forget empires that rose and fell in a flash. Egypt's story is a slow, powerful current, flowing through time, touching everything from your calendar to the way we build cities. This isn't just ancient history, it's the story of us. Ready to see how the land of pharaohs became the world's quiet teacher? Let's journey down the Nile together. Imagine Egypt not as dusty ruins, but as a vibrant, living grandparent of civilization. A place where incredible ideas were born, tested, and then shared far and wide. We won't get bogged down in complicated names or jargon. Think of this as a chat with a friend who's just come back from the most amazing travel adventure. Everything starts with the river. Picture this every year, like clockwork, the Nile would flood. Not destructive chaos, but a life-giving soak. It left behind this incredibly rich, dark mud, nature's perfect fertilizer. This meant Egyptians could grow massive amounts of food, way more than they needed just to survive. That surplus, that's the golden ticket. It freed people up to do other things: build, invent, govern, explore ideas. While others struggled just to find dinner, Egypt was laying the foundations of cities, government, and writing. The Nile wasn't just water, it was liquid opportunity. It made Egypt wealthy, stable, and gave it the time to think big. Okay, let's talk about the big guys. We see them as tombs, right? And they are, but they're also the ultimate project management puzzle. Think about it: thousands of workers, decades of labor, moving millions of giant stone blocks without modern machines, trucks, or computers. It forced Egyptians to become masters of organization, engineering, and math. They developed complex systems to survey land with incredible accuracy. They invented clever ways to move heavy loads: ramps, levers, rollers. They created a massive, well-fed workforce structure. This wasn't magic, it was genius-level teamwork and problem-solving. That spirit of tackling huge challenges through organization and innovation. That's a blueprint the whole world still uses today, from building skyscrapers to launching rockets. The pyramids are a giant stone lesson in how to get big things done. Fast forward to Egypt's new kingdom. Think famous names like Hatshepsut, Ramses the Great, Tutankhamun. This was Egypt as a superpower. But it wasn't just about conquering neighbors. Egypt became the world's first major international hub. Its location, linking Africa, Asia, and the Mediterranean, was perfect. Gold, ivory, spices, timber, ideas, everything flowed through Egypt. Pharaohs sent huge trading expeditions down the Red Sea and deep into Africa. They built incredible temples not just to impress gods, but to impress people, showing off Egypt's wealth and power. This constant contact meant Egyptian styles, art, religious ideas, and technology spread like wildfire. Ever seen an obelisk? Think Washington Monument. That's pure Egyptian style, copied millennia later. Egypt became the trendsetter of the ancient world. No, let's get personal. Ever written a note? Thank the Egyptians. They didn't invent the first writing, but they perfected a system, hieroglyphs, that inspired others. Nearby cultures saw it and thought, maybe we can simplify that. The idea of an alphabet started taking shape. The very letters you're reading trace a line back to those Nile-side scribes. What did they write on? Papyrus. Crushed reeds pressed into sheets, the world's first reliable, portable paper. For centuries, knowledge from Greece, Rome, and beyond was recorded on Egyptian papyrus. And your calendar. Blame or thank the Egyptians, they needed to predict the Nile floods. Their super-accurate 365-day calendar, based on the sun and the star Sirius, became the model for the one we use today. Pretty fundamental stuff. Egypt got conquered, sure. First by the Greeks under Alexander the Great, then by the Romans. But here's the twist: the conquerors were utterly captivated by Egypt. Alexander founded Alexandria, which became the intellectual capital of the ancient world. Why? Because Egypt had the knowledge. The famous Library of Alexandria aimed to collect all the world's knowledge. Scholars flocked there: Greeks, Egyptians, Jews, Persians. They studied Egyptian math, medicine, astronomy, and engineering. Greek thinkers like Euclid, geometry, and Ptolemy, maps and stars, worked there, building directly on Egyptian foundations. Even under Rome, Egypt was the empire's breadbasket, feeding millions. Its temples and gods remained hugely influential. Cleopatra, the last active pharaoh, she was actually Greek, but ruled as an Egyptian pharaoh because that power and mystique still mattered immensely. Egypt's influence didn't vanish with the pharaohs. During the Islamic Golden Age, scholars in Cairo preserved and expanded on ancient knowledge, including Egyptian science and medicine, passing it to Europe. Napoleon's invasion in 1798 wasn't just military. He brought scientists who were awestruck by what they found, sparking Egyptomania across Europe. It influenced art, architecture, those sphinxes on your fireplace, and fashion. Modern Egyptology began. Today, Egyptian symbols are everywhere in movies, games, logos. Why? because it represents mystery, longevity, and incredible human achievement. The very concept of a powerful, centralized state. Egypt pioneered it. The idea of monumental architecture celebrating society. Egypt defined it. Their obsession with life, death, and the cosmos shaped our deepest stories and spiritual thinking. So, the next time you glance at a calendar, jot down a note, admire a towering building, or even just think about how societies organize themselves. Remember the quiet current of the Nile. Egypt wasn't just building tombs, they were building ideas. Ideas about order, about scale, about time, about beauty, about how humans can work together to achieve the seemingly impossible. Their legacy isn't locked in stone, it's woven into the fabric of our daily lives and our global culture. They showed us what's possible when a civilization harnesses its environment, invests in knowledge, and thinks not just for today, but for eternity. That's the true, enduring power of Egypt. It's not just history, it's the story of human potential echoing across 5,000 years. Pretty cool, right? And who knows? Maybe that spark of Egyptian genius, that urge to build, to explore, to understand, is still flowing somewhere inside us all. Thanks for traveling down the Nile of time with me.